It's time I share my exceptional fall recipes with you all. These are peach upside down mini cakes. They are absolutely delicious. Not just gorgeous, but delicious. I'm not sure where you are in the world, whether peaches are in season or not. If you can't find fresh peaches, you can also make them using canned peaches. This is a fruity sweet dessert, and you can also enjoy these upside down cakes with a scoop of ice cream on top. Let's get into it. The ingredients that you will need will be listed on the screen with the measurements, so please pay attention and take notes. This is a very simple recipe. Although you can make this recipe using canned peaches, I would suggest that you use fresh peaches. Ripe peaches, that is. Not overripe, but just right. The first step is to cut up your butter. Now, this doesn't have to be at room temperature. It could be cold, actually, preferably cold. Solid butter, and so chop it up into a few cubes depending on what size of tray you're going to use. Mine has 12 little cupcake slots, so that's how many I need, 12 little pieces of butter. Also, make sure to use unsalted butter. You can use vegan if you choose to. You can use a regular circular cupcake tray, but as you can see, I'm using a square one. Make sure to spray your tray with baking spray so that nothing sticks. And as you can see, I'm putting one little piece of butter into each one, followed by 1 teaspoon of light brown sugar into each little mini cake. This is what's going to give that sweet upside down top. The next step is to add cinnamon, so sprinkle some cinnamon into each one. Now, this step is optional, of course. If you don't like cinnamon or you're allergic, then simply don't add it. I absolutely love cinnamon, and it pairs so well with this recipe. As I said at the beginning, you do need to make sure to use baking spray for this, especially if you're using cinnamon so it doesn't stick. I started off by slicing 2 ripe peaches, not super ripe, but just like perfectly ripe. And this is going to be used for the upside down part. There's different ways to slice peaches, so whatever works best for you. I don't know where these peaches come from, but I'm currently in California and they are so delicious. I've been obsessed with peaches this summer. You're going to place at least 3 slices into each of the little thingies for your little cakes. At the very end, any extra slices that I had, I just put them in any random cupcake, mini cake, whatever, same thing. I will say that all the measurements that I gave you, and with making these 12 mini cakes that you're seeing right here, I did have a little bit of extra batter. So if you have another cupcake tray, you can save a few of those extra peach slices and just make a little more than what I did right here. Look at how beautiful this is already looking, layered perfectly. You already know this is gonna bake so beautifully. Okay, for the next part, I'm going to dice up 3 peaches. Cut the peaches up into nice little squares because it's going to go inside of the batter, and I feel like when it's small little cubes, it's a lot better. Use every bit of the fruit that you can. Even at the seed, you can still chop a little bit of that peach. And if you want, you can even keep the seed and plant a peach tree. Hello. I would definitely love to have a peach tree. Anyway, look at these gorgeous chopped up peaches. And as I mentioned at the beginning, if you don't have access to fresh peaches, you can use canned peaches. What I would suggest if you're using canned is that you simply drain out all the peach juice and probably rinse them off a little just so they're not like extra watery. Drain them and then just chop them up. Now that we have our beautiful peaches, we're going to make the batter. Gather all of your dry ingredients as listed here on the screen: your flour, your baking powder, your baking soda, your salt, and your cinnamon. Make sure to whisk it all up so it is evenly distributed, of course. Those are your dry ingredients, and then in a separate bowl, gather your sugars. So your sugar, your light brown sugar, your butter, your vanilla extract. And I am not using eggs for this recipe, but if you want to, you can. Instead of using eggs, I used unsweetened applesauce. 2 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce to replace 1 large egg. I love using unsweetened applesauce with desserts because it makes them super moist. And I chose to use coconut milk because I love coconut milk. It's one of the best options, but of course you can use whatever milk of choice you'd like. With your hand mixer or your stand mixer, make sure to beat this mixture for about 2 minutes until light and creamy. Now take your dry ingredients and add those into your wet ingredients. And then using a spatula, scrape down the sides and start mixing this. You do not need to use an electric mixer for this. Just a spatula will work just fine. And don't overmix. As you can see here, it's just until all of the flour is fully incorporated. Once the batter is mixed and done, then you will add your chopped up peaches in there, as you can see me doing, and then again gently just fold them in to the batter using your spatula. Gently stir. You don't want to mash up your peaches, especially if you're using canned peaches, because they're probably a little more mushier. And then boom, there's your beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous batter ready to use. Like I mentioned, you can freeze this and use it for another time. Now using a cookie scooper or a spoon or a spatula, you want to place your batter into each little muffin to make your little mini cakes. Very simple, as you can see me doing here. Now you don't want to overfill the little muffin trays. You know, you want to leave a little bit of space just so that it has room when it rises as it's baking. This will work the same if you're using the circular cupcake tray. And as you will see me do, using a spatula, I started to flatten out the batter. This is so that my mini cakes would sit flat once they were done baking. Make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It is very important that you preheat your oven. You're going to bake them for about 20 to 30 minutes. It really depends on your oven, okay? So you can pull it out for about 20 minutes and then just stick like a toothpick or a fork in there. I have like this little cake batter checker tool, and then you pull it out. If it comes out clean, then you know that it is fully cooked and that it is not raw, and therefore your mini cakes are ready. If I remember correctly, my mini cakes were in the oven for about 25 minutes. And then as you can see here, I have a little bit of extra batter that I plan on using to make like a heart-shaped upside down cake. And this is how my mini cakes turned out. Look at how beautiful they look, all toasty and crispy. You can see the little chopped up peaches in there, and then as you can see, I am going to just flip them, of course, so that we have our beautiful presentation and we have these so-called upside down peach cakes. And for presentation purposes, I did sift some powdered sugar over my mini cakes. So this is optional if you would like. It just gives them a beautiful finished look. And it also adds, you know, a little bit of sweetened taste. Now, these mini cakes are so delicious, slightly warmed up, and enjoy them with like a scoop of ice cream, maybe even some yogurt. I don't know, a lot of different ways that you can enjoy them. I personally feel like this is a beautiful fall recipe, even though peaches are not in season year-round, like, you know, all over the world or whatever. But I really hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Please give it a try. I'm telling you, they're so delicious. It is a fruity, sweet, moist, cakey, you know, small sort of dessert, perfect for any event or holiday, or just make them at home for yourself or for your family. Comment below if you gave this recipe a try. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Did you give it a try? Did it work out for you? Do you have any questions or comments? I would love to hear from you all. And of course, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I plan on sharing many more recipes and definitely many more fall recipes for the next couple of months. It is currently September, and you know, October is approaching as well. Anyway, can we just appreciate these beautiful peach upside down mini cakes? Look at how gorgeous they are. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Peachy. All right, that's it for now. Thank you guys.